So in terms of recap, then I'm going to hit you with where you are currently, and then we'll have a quick quest log. So you previous session you destroyed the hags. You met up with with Esmeralda and Rictavio van Richten, and you decided to go with Esmeralda to the werewolf cave. It was, if you remember way back when, it was Niloren's mission with Leowraith to go and rescue the kids. But those two have now departed. Esmeralda told you about the kids trapped in the werewolf cave, and you made your way up to the Lake Baratok behind the Wizard's Tower. You found the cave. You've started to infiltrate it, and that's where it takes us up to at the minute. What I've got for you is the entrance to the cave on map tools. We'll go into the cave a little bit. In terms of quest log, we've got Rictavio / Van Richten was investigating a couple of things. He was looking at the Mad Wizard to see if he could figure out what's going on there. He was going to look at Argynvost and he was going to look at Berez. You've still got Kresk to investigate, and obviously we've still got our Tarocca card readings to try and get to the bottom of. Anything else that I've missed out in terms of quest log from that? No, happy with that so far. So where we are in the cave. Let's take you to the cave entrance. So you made your way in. Valkyn, under the Esmeralda's cloak of invisibility or invisibility spell, you infiltrated, took out the guards, took out a pack of werewolves and wolves to one side, which is where we finished it. There were humanoid corpses, so Reman, being Reman is as Reman does, raised 4 corpses to carry on the exploration of the cave. So I'd best give you the description of where you are at the minute. So if you remember, you've gone through the cave, which is a wolf's jaw. So just here, the cave splits to the left and right. Standing on a 5-foot high ledge between the two, between the divide are 2 yeah, we've dealt with them. And then here we've got a fire, a smouldering campfire at the far west, and the floor is covered with gnawed bones. One thing I didn't tell you, there was an old fella there, an old fella who turned into a werewolf. As he dies, he crackles towards you. When Kirill returns, he'll skin you alive as you deal the killing blow, and he drops to the ground. So you're still in this cave. It's dark inside. It's dingy. It is lit. There are torches on the wall, and the sconces on the walls. There are bones on the floor, mostly animal, but there's also some humanoid bones as well. Your visibility through these tunnels is a little bit reduced. In terms of sounds, you can't really hear anything at the minute. In terms of odours, as you've moved into the cave, you get a sense of decay. So,
it's about 9 o'clock in the morning, wasn't it?
I'll take your word for that, dude. I'm quite happy with that. If you're sort of time master with your zombie army, so
it's a time that I've on the last page of my notes. So yeah, I'm assuming
you're doing an invaluable job for the dungeon master doing that, mate. So carry on. So usual question then. You've just finished a battle. Everything's now quiet. Everything, as I've explained it, you can hear the drips of the sort of pool that you've seen the other side, but everything else seems quiet. What do you want to do?
I wouldn't mind exploring the pool area because this bit looks cut off and this bit looks where it goes a bit deeper into the cave. So do you want to explore this bit first?
I can send me back round there if you want.
Yes, see bat thing around there.
Just need to. I can't remember what I'm doing with my bat.
But to be fair, I've actually got a badger I can send as well.
And a rat and a dire wolf.
Yeah, but you can't see or hear with your badger and that, can you?
They can do a recce, report back.
You
Talk to me in rat speech. I don't know.
well, that's the problem. You can't speak to your. You can command them in basic terms.
Okay, well I can't communicate with them.
No, not as it stands.
Millions.
Reman,
Okay.
because the bat is his familiar, so it's sort of a magical construct that he can send in and out of the into its own pocket dimension. So he can basically zone out. He can become deaf and blind himself, and send his consciousness into the bat and have a look. So we'll assume that's going to happen because the bat's pretty innocuous. So the bat, as it flies round towards, the first thing it senses, especially with its sonar, it senses a gash in the rocky ceiling above, which allows grey light and cloud and drizzle from the outdoors to seep into the dank torchlit cave, where an underground spring forms from a pool of water roughly 40 feet across and 10 feet deep. A 5-foot-high ledge to the north overlooks the pool. A similar ledge spans the eastern wall with a rough-hewn staircase leading up to it. A few crates sit on top of the eastern ledge. So the pool itself is 10 feet deep and it seems to be a natural spring rising up. These dotted lines here, that's the crevice above. So that's the crack in the ceiling above, letting a little bit of light in. Stairs up and crates around the side. As the bat investigates with his sort of sonar ping, you also notice just here at the back of the pool, there's a raised ledge which leads to this area. So you can get all the way around.
So I'll just move in so we can see that.
Sure.
Oh, there you go.
Smash it.
Have you got a name for your bat?
Bat thing.
At Damon.
Bat Damon.
No.
Yeah.
So what do we want to do?
Delve deeper, I assume.
Well, I think Barwolf's ears would have picked up when the old man that was dying, saying somebody will come for you and gut you on it when he returns. I think he'd be thinking, well, if there's more that aren't here, do we really want to get boxed in somewhere where we can't get out and get swarmed? Is it worth us, like setting a trap or something?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd agree with that. But also, I'm thinking, what else is in the caves? You know, is there more? So if we end up having a proper scrap, is something going to come from behind? So I think Brungrik would want to know what's out there that we can't see within the caves.
I mean, is it worth us? Are the bodies still there, Dave, other than the ones that have been reanimated?
Yeah.
Would it be worth us hiding the bodies?
Moving them out of sight.
Yeah.
Around here somewhere.
I mean, there's a good little spring around the other side.
Just chuck them in the pool.
I mean, if it was up to me, we'd be poisoning the spring, because what do you want to do when you've had a bit of a long walk? You go for a drink, don't you? That's it, Miller. Chuck a couple of zombies in there, mate. Make it all a bit polluted, and jobs are good. What's in the crates?
Are you going to go up and investigate then?
Money,
Yeah,
money,
why not?
money.
If we're moving the bodies up there anyway, then
Okay, so the plan is most of the bodies we're going to drag them round into the spring and then investigate the caves while we're doing it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's. Who's going to look through the crates?
I think our favourite thief should have a look.
Yeah.
Hasn't he already been through them?
Not yet.
We haven't given him chance yet.
Uncharacteristically, not yet. Let's have an investigation check from Valkyn then, just to see if you can, or perception. I need to. I'm not entirely convinced it's perception or investigation. It is investigation, this really, isn't it?
I'd say investigation, looking for loot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Investigating
We'll
boxes.
go investigation.
Yeah.
You'd perceive that there's crates there, but you'd investigate what's inside.
Okay, you're aware of the fact that there's crates, and as you look through the crates, most of them contain clothing, and for the majority, it's adult clothing as well. But you don't find anything else of anything of any worth. There are, in fact, you bought winter clothes just before you came up here, so there's just adult clothing.
Can I investigate the pool just to see if there's anything magical about it? I know we've already poisoned it, but just if there's anything special about it.
That would, if you're going to investigate it, that would involve getting in it.
I don't know how good Valkyn is at swimming. Never swam before.
Ignore the bodies that are now floating in it.
Yeah. Can I just go for a paddle?
Sure.
Dip my toes.
Brings a whole new meaning to drowning pools, bodies.
I'm gonna dip my toe in the water just to test waters.
Okay, it is. If you remember outside, it was icy outside, and this water is it's just shy of freezing. It's properly cold.
Okay.
How deep are you going? It's 10 feet deep. It's quite clear. You can see to the bottom.
Ankle deep.
Ankle deep.
So
Okay.
I'm just gonna peer over. I'm just going for a paddle, mate. I'm not swimming.
Sure. So if you wanted to investigate all the rest of it, I'll give you an investigation for the whole pool, but it will be a disadvantage if you're just going ankle deep.
And that'll be a 5.
Again, nothing obvious. It's you can see it. It's the spring itself is bubbling from below. You're getting the drips from above, mostly sort of meltwater dripping into it. But there's nothing obvious other than the floating corpses now.
Okay.
Here's a question for you, and I genuinely don't know. I probably should know this. You guys have probably learned it at uni, but corpses float first, don't they? Then they sink, and then they come back up.
Yeah, because they'll still be full of air, won't they? Because we won't just kill them.
Yeah. Unless I mean, there's plenty of rocks around, so you can put rocks in their clothing and put them to the bottom if you wanted. But other than that, they will float around on top.
I love how you assume because we've been to university, we know the answer to that question.
I automatically assume everyone's cleverer than me. It's just an easier way to live.
That's not what they teach us at all, Dave. I don't even know how to be a paramedic. I'm having to learn that on the road.
Yeah. I still make it up as I go along, mate.
Trial and error.
So for the most part, the rest of it is still quite quiet. Let's have a and I'm going to do a group perception check, not individual now, just to see the general feel of the cave. Then let's get everyone rolling their dice, shall we? Fucking hell!
Not funny.
Oh,
That's 20.
It's right.
Right.
Fucking hell.
Early morning murder, mate, makes everybody perceptive.
All downhill from here.
Right. So Miller lets the side down with a 14. That's not a bad set of rolls. Right, new 1D&D. We're going to play test this. The new inspiration rule. So inspiration, as you know, you have to declare before you roll a d20 20 dice, but it gives you advantage on a roll on a d20 roll. You gain inspiration if you roll a natural 20. Okay, so everyone that's just rolled a natural 20, you've got inspiration, but it only lasts for 1 day. As soon as you have a long rest, it goes. Jake, you're the only human in the party. Every morning, after every long rest, you start with inspiration. If during combat you have inspiration and you haven't used it and you roll a natural 20, or if what I'd like to do is you can pass that inspiration to someone else, but what I'd like to suggest to you is you're passing it to someone not who needs it, who has played well. So we're passing inspiration with the old rules. So someone who's role played well, someone who's come up with a good idea, someone who's or if it's sort of a life or death shit, we really need this person to do it. If you gain inspiration for a second time, you can pass your inspiration on to someone else. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't we have inspiration from the last game?
You had inspiration from the Death House on session 3 or 4.
Oh, but we've had a day since. Okay.
We've had about a year since then.
I'm sure. Weren't we discussing inspiration last time? It doesn't matter.
I think. Have you still got
Yeah.
inspiration from the Death House?
We all
Me?
did. Niloren died with his.
Did he really? Well, I think that's why they're bringing this rule in. Inspiration is such a good thing. I like the mechanics of inspiration, but people do forget.
Everyone
Don't
forgets
use
about
it, yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah. So hopefully this will remind you a little bit more. So so minimum of 14, and the rest of you are rolled above 20. What you can hear from echoing through the caves, you can hear what sounds like a child whimpering. Now, in terms of direction, everything is north of you. So if you can see the cave now, this cave here is sealed, and everything is in this direction. So it's all north of you. So even though you rolled really well, I can't give you any more than that because everything is in that direction. But it's a distinct sound of a child sort of sniffling and whimpering.
Could I not pick up on it, Dave, with my heightened senses? Because I get advantage checks on hearing, don't I, and smell.
Okay.
So could I not?
Roll again then, and we'll apply that just a normal roll, but we'll apply it as your advantage.
On perception?
Yeah. I mean, bearing in mind Brungrik rolled a 28.
Shit.
Yeah. So we'll have to take your 20. So again, it's coming from north of you, but you're not entirely sure of what else. With your smell sense, there's definitely a sense of rot. There's a sense of decay in the air, and this is most of the bones on the floor would have gone past that point. This is not ancient bones on the floor being picked clean. This is something that has died within the last 5 to 10 days, somewhere in the cave.
Oh, that smell.
Yeah.
Can I potentially move up, stealth check, move up, do a recce, and cast Divine Sense?
Sure. Absolutely. So where did you want to move up to?
Sort of just onto where am I? Taking shelter into the ledge, obviously stealthily.
Okay.
Roll stealth.
Do you know-
Yeah, go for it.
With it being quite a big cave, can I go with him?
You can do if you want.
Yeah. So I'll roll stealth as well.
Okay.
I am a stealth god.
You are a stealth god, mate. Plus 10 still. Barwolf
I got
doesn't do too bad. Barwolf's made good of
That's
himself as well.
pretty good.
So as you round this corner here, I'm going to push it a little bit further as you sort of your stealth incarnate as Barwolf. So what Valkyn will see is Barwolf being ridiculously stealthy. Barwolf, however, has got no idea where Valkyn is. So the pair of you are doing really well, but Valkyn might as well be invisible. From around this corner, you can see what looks like a white-haired old woman sat in the alcove. And she's got with her 3 wolves. And she seems to be whispering to the wolves, and she's looking away from you, so she's looking towards the cave wall, and every now and again she's looking behind. But she's turning back and she's whispering to the wolves, and she's stroking the wolves as if she's trying to placate them, so they're all around her. All of the wolves are sort of sat to attention, ears pricking round, and they're doing the sort of dog thing where they're trying to... none of them seem to be picking up on you at all. I think in terms of Valkyn, I think that it's actually impossible for them to pick up on you. In terms of other directions, you can't quite see far enough to the north or east. Looks like there's another alcove there. What do you want to do?
Can I cast Divine Sense, like I said, because it's got a radius of 60 feet? Is that right?
Is it 50 or 60?
60, I believe.
60. And it senses...
Yeah. As an action, you can detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell, or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet. This is not behind total cover.
Okay. Is this the first time you've used this ability?
Yeah, it was a Paladin spell, isn't it?
Yeah. So as you sort of zone in to your primal awareness of what's around you, as you're wanting to stalk your prey, you get what I'd like to describe as everywhere around you is evil. You're in Barovia. You're in a demiplane of dread. You've never used this ability before anywhere else, so it just seems makes sense. But there isn't a specific ping. There's no undead, celestial, fey, or fiend.
Just everywhere.
Just everywhere. Just the background hum of Barovia, but nothing specific.
I was hoping to get like a bit of a ping off the sobbing child, if that was good or evil.
Well, it doesn't necessarily detect. It detects a creature type. So if you came across someone, let's say for example, if we backtrack a few weeks or a few months, if you met Morgantha for the first time and she appeared as a little old lady and you used that ability, it would ping fiend, because that's what night hags are.
Yeah.
But from you're within range of this woman, and this woman is not pinging anything of that nature. By now, however, with your experience of Barovia, you would be aware that... Oh no, yeah, I can't give you much more than that, really.
Kill it with fire.
So Barwolf sees the same. Barwolf and Valkyn, at the minute, you're sort of, let's say you're sort of skulking behind this bit, so you can witness here. What do you want to do?
And back Damon in.
I think you should put Mr. Sneaky Invisible Pants and slit a throat.
If I'm going to move up to here behind this, or here behind this ledge by the steps.
Yeah.
I'm still out of sight and what have you. Then my Bat Damon can come up to about here. It's about 100 feet.
Okay.
I can scoot off round this bit, see what's going on up here and round here as well.
Sure. So automatically loving Bat Damon. What you see. Go on then, mate. Drop yourself in. Can you see through Bat Damon?
Yes, and here.
There's
So long
Okay.
as he is.
So Bat Damon, as he flies and uses his sonar to report back to you, this bit here is quite. It's a larger cavern. It's rough hewn stairs. Just here and here lead down to a torchlit cave and a bizarre sight. Wide-eyed children stand behind wooden bars and stare around in terrified silence. The cave holds 6 wooden cages, their lids held shut with heavy rocks. 2 of the cages are empty, and each of the others holds a pair of frightened children. A crude wooden statue stands between the cages. It bears a rough likeness of a wolf-headed woman draped in garlands of vines and night flowers. Piled around the statue's base is an incredible amount of treasure. A woman in shredded clothes kneels before the statue. Behind the statue, 2 maggot-ridden corpses hang from iron shackles bolted to the walls. So here you can see the woman in tatters. There's the statue. There's 2 humanoid corpses that this smell is clearly emanating from. And children in caves. This is also where the whimpering sound is coming from. I'm going to have... I'm just going to have a perception check for... So as Bat Damon's flying around, at some point I'm going to get used to that and say it without smirking. This female...
You haven't looked at the chat yet, mate.
Oh no. I don't get a chance to look at the chat. I'll look at it later. This female in the rags notices Bat Damon, and as she turns around, she reaches for her. She's got a spear next to her. She reaches for it and looks at Bat Damon hungrily.
So, which woman's that? The woman up here?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
What do you want to do with Bat
I
Damon?
think. Well, I'm gonna sort of circle back out and come back around here for the time being.
Okay. She's going to throw the spear as Bat Damon circles round. So it's going to be proficiency +2. So what's Bat Damon's AC? Doesn't matter. You jammy son of a bitch. She's rolled a natural 1.
Oh dear.
Yeah. He's looking anyway. I rolled a natural 1, Miller. You've got away. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things that I think it has same AC as me.
Hold up. It'll be the bat statistics. So bat.
Oh yeah, that's what it'll be.
Yeah. AC 12. Yeah. So as the spear hits the cave wall, you can hear through Bat Damon's ears. You can hear her cursing, and she'll sort of say, "Oh, that's a meal gone." As you continue to fly around. So you've managed to escape. Where do you want to fly to now? So you've made your way out. Anywhere else you want to go? I tell you what then, because I've just enabled the view from a player. As Bat Damon's flying around, I'll basically make everything visible to you, so we know where everything is. Bat Damon's doing a fantastic job at flying around. So this, we've got the woman with the white hair trying to placate the wolves and keep them calm. This is the woman that's thrown a spear at you, and in this alcove, you've got a young boy, possibly best guess 9-10 years old, with a younger woman, a scarred woman. The boy looks petrified as Bat Damon's flying around, and again, this woman is trying to ease him, to soothe him. I'm going to give the woman a perception check as Bat Damon flies around. She is totally focused on this young boy, so in this corner here, and she's not even checking over her shoulder. She doesn't notice Bat Damon at all. And as you're flying around, you can clearly see that she's trying to soothe him, and he looks petrified.
Dave, did you say you were unlocking all of that for us to see? Because we're still
If you
Good
click,
luck in that.
Bob of War.
if you
Got
click
a black
off,
screen at the moment.
oh, okay, righto. How Map Tools works is if your token gets within sight, you'll be able to see it. So the whole map up to here now should be visible to you, but you're not going to be able to see the tokens until you get within sight. But in this, I'll tell you what. Where's Barwolf? Brungrik, as you've said. So if I put Brungrik there for a second, you can see the grey-haired lady and the wolves, and then here you can see the young boy and the woman, and then same with the woman dressed in rags and the children in the cages. Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm going to ask for then, Miller, is give me an insight check, please. It'll be for Bat Damon, but with your eyes. So you roll it for Reman. And now I've seen Discord. Bat Damon. So wrong. So wrong.
A 9.
9. Yeah. Okay. You're aware of everything I've described to you. You've got two women. You've got 3 women. One seems to be guarding children in caves, or she looked like she was sort of praying towards this idol. And the other 2 women seem to be trying to soothe or placate either wolves or a little boy. So where do we go from here? What do you want to do?
And they've not don't appear to be on edge from the commotion we've made as we've come in and killed the 2 sentries and the whole little pack.
From
We were quite rapid, weren't we? We did get the jump on them, if I remember correctly. It wasn't a long combat.
that's the. I'm hearing what you're saying, Jake. I don't want to metagame too much, but from the insight check that we've just made, you're not sure. And it's Bat Damon that's flying around, so it was only Reman that could make that roll.
Yeah.
I think Barwolf will go back to the group and tell him that he can see the woman with the 3 wolves around the corner. I don't know if Reman wants to relay the rest of the information.
Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously, the posse that has stayed down the bottom, I will have mentioned what I've seen, but Brumwick and is it Rillik?
I think it's
No.
just I think it's just Brungrik and Damian that didn't do anything then, did we?
Valkyn, yeah.
So
To be fair, in that period of time where you guys were doing your little bit and pieces, I think Damian would be doing certain things to the werewolf bodies to make sure that they can't come back in any capacity. So kind of,
fucking hell, Jake.
and yeah, but I mean, we've been caught out before, haven't we?
All right. I think if you mention that there's like the children in cages, the petrified child, Brungrik will be pushing to go and save the kids. It's obviously triggering something for him, and that will be his first instinct. And
I
in his
think Bob-
typical fashion, you'll be telling that he's ready to go for a fucking scrap.
Barwolf will suggest that we take out the woman and the 3 wolves first, because from the other group that we've just seen, wolves were turning into people. And if she's not locked up or caged and she's communicating with wolves, she's clearly part of the group that's holding the children hostage. So I say we do her in, try and do her in as quietly as we can, and then just move up to the next group, and then so on and so forth.
I'll sneak up behind him.
Yeah,
So
and then 3 dogs to sort out as well, haven't we?
which one are we going to first? The one with the cages?
I'd say work outwards. I'd say the wolves and the woman, then the woman on her own with the single child, then the cages. Because if we end up going in there and the kids start yelling for us to save them, it'll alert everybody else, won't it?
Okay. Well, I can send my meat shield in front of everybody. We should tie up the werewolves and what have you.
Well, me and
Temporarily.
Valkyn have been quite sneaky. I mean, if you can get a sneak attack off or something, and then
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I sneak up on the old lady, potentially do her in on shot, and then kind of signal to you guys, get ready, I'm going in, to her throat, and then you guys jump on the wolves.
So it's relatively open ground. This bit here is quite open. There's a torch blazing there. Esmeralda will say to you that she has. In fact, let me just double check, because she was concentrating on greater invisibility. The duration of greater invisibility lasts for 1 minute, and she's only got access to it once. She can no longer make you invisible, and you would literally have to be invisible to make it through here. With the torch burning, the white-haired woman was looking over her shoulder. Even with a roll of 30 stealth, you're still not invisible. She would see you coming.
Your best bet would be to use your hand crossbow and get a sneak attack shot off as a surprise.
Yeah.
You got this
The
silver bolt?
position you're in.
I believe so. Just check. Bolts. Yes, I do. I've got 38 of them.
Wow. Okay, so it sounds like we've got a bit of a
Somehow.
plan.
I don't know. I've got 38.
Sorry, Andy,
Yep.
go on.
No, I just had more than I thought I did. I don't know where I've got 38 from. I'm sure somebody gave me them. Anyway.
I think I gave you some.
You did, but I didn't think you gave me 38 of them.
Didn't you write Leowraith had like 20 yard or something that went in the bag of holding?
They were
They did
arrows.
Niloren.
Yeah, I think it was our.
There was quite.
Yeah.
We had quite a
I
few.
pinched them at some point and just forgot about it.
No, I think you're fine. Right, so we're aiming towards this group here. I'm happy for the stealthers to move into position to roll your stealth. Esmeralda, it would position herself kind of here, ready to respond round the corner, and I'm going to roll a stealth for her. So if you want to figure out what you're all doing respectively, does she have stealth?
I'm gonna probably move up with theirs.
Shall I sneak up? So the old
I feel
lady
like Dave has
is
just screwed us over there. I've just seen his face.
Oh, mate, stop it.
She's here, yeah? The old lady?
Here.
Yeah. Okay.
If Dave hasn't, I fucking have.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to use my inspiration.
Too late.
Oh man.
Can I stealth here without potentially being seen? Dave, going to see me?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, well, you can try. Roll
Yeah.
your stealth. So that leaves your small army, Mr. Johnson. Where are they going to go? And then Mr. Miller and his
Completely
small
forgot
army.
about them.
Yeah,
Forgot about
I guess I am not going to be stealthy, am I?
Well, you could
So,
try to be.
Oh,
I was going to say, at what point do we need to start considering stealth? Because obviously I've got to position myself as well.
Yeah, like
So my furry friends are in the background for now, ready to strike.
Gotcha. So let's have Barwolf stealth roll. You've done it. 26, 20. Was that? Oh no, wait a minute. That was the old one, wasn't it? So we need a new one.
that's the old one. Yeah. 17.
Okay. Valkyn's on 28. So what would Brungrik and Reman be doing?
Obviously, get as close as I can before I start triggering stealth rolls to
Sure.
metagame.
Okay, gotcha.
So where we sort of
yeah. Well, at what point can I move up to before?
because of armor and stuff, I'm disadvantaged, so I'm not even going to
Yeah.
entertain trying to stealth.
Yeah. So in terms of Brungrik, you're best off somewhere around. What's this? We've got a badger. You can move. You've got these a badger and a rat there, so you can move them out of the way. So any of these positions here, I'd be happy for. Same with Reman and your zombies somewhere around here. Would not instigate a stealth check.
Oh, I've got such a good idea in a minute. Let's do this.
Are the zombies all right to go here?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And I hope this doesn't get in the way, Lewis. I have a feeling it will. What you're going to notice, especially Valkyn, who and everyone seems to be approaching from this direction. In fact, you are all approaching from this direction. Valkyn slides through the shadows like we've all seen it before, or to the point not seen it. Esmeralda, as she starts to walk across, collides with Damian, and they bump into each other, and there's a clear rattle of equipment of some description, and even Barwolf's second roll was 17. Even Barwolf seems to make a little bit of noise, and straight away this grey-haired woman, who is in the process of stroking two of the wolves in front of her. In fact, let me move that one in. They would all be right round her. She spins around. As she spins, she sort of turns anti-clockwise, and Valkyn, you don't. She looks straight over you, so she's paying no attention to you whatsoever. But she spins in this direction, and she holds a hand up and she says, "Stop! Wait! We mean you no harm. Please, why are you here?" And she's clearly aware of you. Has that got in your way, Lewis? Out of interest?
No.
No. Okay, so Valkyn's going to shoot.
I don't know.
Do
it. Yeah. Well, seeing as I did my divine sense earlier, and I just got a whole sense of nastiness, or a general sense of nastiness, I'm not trusting this bitch. I've been through the hags before. Okay. So I'm gonna thunk it straight in the forehead with a silver bolt.
Okay. So in terms of right, let's roll initiative. How ready were you for that? How ready was Lewis for roll initiative?
That's thickening.
I'm gonna roll it on.
Sure.
on D&D Beyond, mate. It's 20.
Set to 20. That puts you second. You get the drop anyway, mate. So you get a surprise round. What's on you? You have an effect on you.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Is that
Little running man. What's that?
invisible? That's what it is. You're no longer invisible, but you are stealthed.
Oh.
Right. Where is everyone? You're all in that tight room. Yeah, so I can zoom quite into that actually. That's nice. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The wolves. Right. So in terms of surprise round, it's just Valkyn that gets a surprise round. Then we go into normal combat. So if you want to make your attack roll, Mr. Johnson.
You hear me? So get my assassinate. Not taking any
You do.
actions yet, so get advantage, which helps with my sneak attack. So I'll go. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, so taking crossbow bolt, silvered crossbow bolt.
Yep.
Aiming it straight between the eyes. And it probably fucking misses.
You don't get advantage, did you say?
Oh, I do.
You do get advantage.
Roll again.
Okay.
You've literally got one job, Johnson. Right. So.
Hello, mate.
So the silvered bolt. Make sure you mark them off.
Yep.
Shoots past. This woman flies into the wall and is destroyed as it impacts in the wall. As we go into combat proper, Barwolf. From your position, you've guessed what's happened. You've heard Valkyn slide. So what's Barwolf going to do? What's Barwolf going to do?
He's going to pull out his hand crossbow. Well, his crossbow again, still, but still got the flaming effect on from the last round. And he's going to have a shot at this wolf. What are you doing, you stupid thing? There we go. There.
Yep.
That one. 13.
13 hits.
Lovely. So it'll take 1d6, so 6, and it'll also take another 1d6 fire damage.
Okay.
There's 2, so 8 in total.
8 in total. And that's normal bolt or
Silvered.
silver bolt?
I've only got silvered.
Say again, sorry.
I've only got silvered ones.
Right. Okay. So 8 damage in total.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm not done yet. I've got another attack, so I'm going to fire another one at that one, I suppose. May as well keep it going.
Sure.
9.
9 misses.
All right. And then I'll do my bonus action, which is my third crossbow bolt. And I'll fire at the same one again. Nat 20.
Okay. So what bonus action shooting?
Yeah, I've got crossbow expert, so I can take another shot.
Wow. Okay. So you get inspiration.
Oh.
And it's a crit. I'm going with the new crit rules, by the way. I don't need to ask you this because we've got a rogue in the party. The new crit rules, you only roll double on the weapon damage. You don't roll on the extra, which is I'm not doing that. So you can roll 2. Is this fire damage as well? Then is everything fire damage?
Yeah, because I did the right of
Right.
whatever it was in the last one. I've still got the right of fire on my crossbow, and I've got the right of lightning on my sword still.
Cool. So it's 2d6, which should be automatic on D&D Beyond for the what's it damage, and then it's another 2d6 for your fire damage, I believe.
Yeah. For some reason, it's taken the 2d6 off, so I'll just roll 2 of them, and then
or you could roll 4d6 plus 4.
I'll just roll 4d6 then.
Okay.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
14.
Still not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, this you would notice from from where you are. This wolf seems to be taking a ridiculous amount of damage. You would have expected to have felled a normal wolf by now. Any movement?
Nah, I'm all right where I am, I think.
Okay, Valkyn, your first turn.
I rinse and repeat, please, mate. So the crossbow shot at the old lady.
Yep.
Still get me assassinate. Then she's not taking a turn. That would be a 23 to
23 hits.
6 points of damage and a miss. Is it 4d6?
You sneak attack, I believe so.
Yeah, 4d6. 6 plus. Oh, 26.
26. Johnson's turned up today.
Oh.
Any movement?
Yeah, I'm going to skedaddle and hide. Please, bonus action, hide.
Sure. Yeah, wicked. Roll your stealth then. I don't know why I asked.
It has failed me before. 21.
21. Mr. Miller, Reman's turn.
I'm going to roll up the meat shield with instructions just to, for the time being, just act as like a blocking force.
Sure.
A bit of group protection. So it's like 20 feet they can move in it. I'm going to move up. And where's me? Yeah. And I'm going to try cast what was I going to do? I was going to cast Cause Fear, I think it was, onto him.
Okay. You're going to have to talk me through that. It's a new one for me. How does that work?
So it's a range area 60 foot, concentration up to a minute, attack save is a wisdom 15. You awaken a sense of mortality in one creature you can see within range. Construct or an undead is immune to this effect. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you until the spell ends. The frightened target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. At high level, when you cast a spell using the spell slot of second or higher, you can target one additional creature for each slot above first level. The creature must be within 30 feet of each other when you target them.
Sound. So, are you doing it first level or are you targeting more?
Well, there's 3 of them there, so I'll do. Which one is it? Third level.
Third level. So 1, 2, 3. So there's 4 there in total. There's 3 wolves and the woman.
Oh, is there 3 wolves and the woman?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I missed. I got distracted by reading. I thought the woman had been splattered by the bolt.
No.
Oh, okay then. So I'll well, I'll do it at. I'll just do a first level on the woman.
Okay, so she's got a wisdom save. She rolls a 4, so that's going to fail. She is now frightened of Reman, so you have to concentrate on this this effect.
Yeah.
So as you cast, what does it look like when you cast the spell? Is there anything specific that emanates from you, or is it just in the background?
It's like, like a shimmering shockwave just goes in that general direction.
Cool, like it. So as you see, because she's already saying, she's already said, no, we don't mean you any harm. She's dodged a bolt from Valkyn and took another one sort of in the shoulder, which has knocked her back. And now she's gone from, no, donors, no, and she's starting to scream and back away. She's now ignoring the wolves. You got the impression she was trying to protect them before, but she's going to try and ignore them. That turns us to the wolves' turn. Okay, I think this is a relatively.
Sorry, Dave. Did you roll for Ez?
I didn't do. Thanks, mate. Well done, Sam. Cheers, dude. Right. So wolf number 1. Movement of. Let me just double check. 40 to there. Wolf number 2. 40 to there. Wolf number 3. 35. Right. I'm going to do wolf number 1 first. So these two have moved their full. This one's got 5 left. Wolf number 1 attacks a zombie.
Dave, did I have to roll initiative for my furry friends?
No.
Okay.
No, because you rolled initiative, you rolled a 20, but you had the drop on everyone else, so your stealth exceeded the perception of the woman. I didn't roll perception to anyone else. I just and she rolled a natural 20, so I didn't need to roll for anyone else. But you exceeded that, if you understand what I mean.
He means initiative for the direwolf, the giant badger, and the giant rat.
No, they're just your bow. Oh, do you?
Is that an action then for me to command them to?
I think it's a bonus action for you to command them. Just read the bag of tricks again, mate. Just to be sure. But in the meantime, I'm gonna carry on with the wolf's turn. So this one first tries to tear into a zombie. So against your zombies, then, Mr. Miller.
Yeah.
That's a 20 to hit. Zombie number 1 for 10 points of piercing damage.
AC of 8.
Yep. So 10 points against 1. Zombies have more life that they've got quite a lot of life. Your zombies, haven't they?
29 hit points.
So second attack is 13, which hits. So that's 7 points of damage. So that's 17 in total against that one.
Is that zombie 2?
No, this is all zombie 1.
All right.
Yeah. So the same zombie, this werewolf is in range. This wolf is in range of, so it's going to bite as well. Rolls a 20, so that's another 7 against that same one.
So what's that? 17, 7.
Yeah, so 24.
He's still alive.
Okay, and the second bite from the second werewolf is a 23 to hit, 7 damage. So that's 31.
That one's gone.
Okay, I'm going to take one of the werewolves out of the equation then. Move him away. This werewolf is going to start tearing into one of these here. 14, 5 damage, and 6 misses. So just 5 damage from one of these in front.
Okay.
All the rest are on full life. Which takes us to the woman's turn. So frightened means she cannot move closer to Reman. I believe. Let me just double check. Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks to attack rolls while the source of the fear is within line of sight. Jake's disconnected. Creature can't willingly move towards the source. That's really nasty, Miller. What she will do, and she's still she's going to be saying to you, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? But she's now sort of doing it in sort of like as if she's tearing her hair out, clearly petrified of what's happening. And she'll say, my darlings, no, please stop. I'll call them off. But she's not going to take any aggressive actions. Takes us to Damian's turn.
Hearing her like begging and pleading, Damian's going to be like, what's going on here? He's going to kind of like move forward. I can't see it at the moment because the map's still black for me at the moment. So let me just refresh now.
And I'd like to think Damian has sort of got the gist of my character, and would realize if he's planning on, going, well, let's call this, let's see if we can stop this attack through negotiation or whatever. He would just need to give me a look over and sort of like finish, stop the fear, and we'll talk about it.
So that was 20 to there.
Were you here, Jake? You were, weren't you?
Yeah, so moving to where I am at the moment is 20 without provoking opportunity attack from the wolves, and then to there's another 20, I think. So I can actually see her in direct line of sight.
Yeah.
So yes. I'm just going to be kind of quizzing her and asking her about like what's going on here.
So what you can see now that you've skirted around this corner, you can also see into this alcove, and you can clearly see that there's right. So if you want to pan back a little bit, so just up here, you can see there's another younger-looking woman, quite scarred, but still dressed in mostly sort of rags, rough hewn clothes. And the young boy. The young boy here is petrified. This woman has this boy behind her, and she's protecting him. She's arms behind her, with the boy in a protective stance. And they both look petrified. And this woman here that you're talking to, she'll say, "This is where we live. This is our home. What are you doing? Why are you here?" And she's trying to back away, not making any aggressive moves.
Damian would be like, "Well, we've come for the children."
Okay,
maybe word it a little bit different there, Jake.
We've come to save children.
Okay, so what I'm going to have is a persuasion roll from Damian.
17.
17 is really good without any modifiers. So straight away, and everything is directed. Is coming from this woman here, and she says, "They're our children. You can't take our children." What do you mean you've come for the children?
The ones in the cages.
Okay. Let's have an insight check from. It would just be Damian then.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Can I roll inspiration? Oh man, no, it's too late.
I heard you say, "Can I roll inspiration?" before it landed on my screen. Did you say it before it landed on your screen?
I said it as it was rolling, just because I thought it would be important.
Roll your inspiration.
Oh man, it was just as trash.
But in response to this, she says, "We have no choice. We have no choice. Please stop, and let us talk."
I mean, if I don't know if I can see Ez.
You can't.
I can't make eye contact with Ez at the moment. I can't really make eye contact with anybody else at the moment.
So I'm gonna push this a little bit, Jake, because we're pushing the boundaries of your 6 seconds. You've got one decision to make. What are you gonna do now?
I think Damian would just like say he'd kind of show his hands up, and he'd be like, "You need to explain yourselves," and that's it.
Okay, righto.
He'd say it quite loud.
Yeah. So that's your turn, smashing. So Ez steps forward. She steps forward cautiously behind the meat shield so she can sort of clock what's going on. If I'm looking from Ez's perspective, she can just see. Let's roll. And okay, righto. So Ez steps forward now, and she can see what Reman's doing and how she's affecting it, and she sort of puts her hand on Reman's shoulder, and she turns as she walks forwards, and she looks towards the woman with the grey hair, and she'll say, "Call off your wolves," in quite an authoritative, stern tone. And in response, the woman will sort of do a sort of click heel type maneuver, and the wolves will start to move back towards her. They're doing it cautiously. Is anyone going to do anything aggressive at this point?
No.
I think Barwolf will probably like shake his head slightly and go, "This is the wrong choice," but he'll put his crossbow back in its holster.
Okay, so the wolves.
I don't know if you'd count this as aggressive, but obviously my intention was Brungrik was going to move basically around to Jake because he was going to read the battle and decide to go around flanking. So I don't know if you'd consider that as an aggressive move or not. He wasn't going to attack anyone. He was just going to dart round.
Yep, fine. Move yourself into position, Sam. It's your turn next, so you can go for your movement, whatever you wanted to do.
He'd have moved to there, read what was going on here, and then sort of come round, done a double move to try and get round the back of it all.
Okay, so that was a dash move from you. Let's roll your insight then. Now I've rolled an insight for Ez. Let's have one for Brungrik as well. Okay. Oh, nice dice, mate.
Yeah, they were free. Didn't no one want to get the email about them?
Yes, I did. I like the what's it one, the astral one. I think it's the astral purple. Anyway, yeah. So with an 11. The battle's a little bit too fresh, and there's bodies in the way, so you're not picking up the vibe other than what you already know. But the wolves start to back away. They go back to the woman, but they stand defensively in front of her. Quick question: the only thing that I want to resolve. Are you still there, Miller?
Yep.
Are you keeping concentration on your spell?
For the time being,
Sure.
until someone gives me an indication to knock it on the head.
Okay, so in terms of the meta, she can't. She's frightened. She's frightened of you. She can't get any closer to you. But there's this air of fear around you and her. But yeah, there's no reason why it's going to affect anything. So that's fine. So as everything sort of settles down, this woman here will identify herself, and she'll say, "Listen, my name is Bianca. I am here to care for the pack and the young ones. We're all here to look for the young ones while the hunt is out. we're just mothers and children in here. Your quarrel is not with us. And what she looks like she wants to do, and she will start moving around, and she will say to you, "Listen, I'm just gonna go to the little one," indicating this one here. And her and the three wolves sort of, unless you're going to do anything, they will sort of shimmy round, so they're all boxed themselves into this corner here. Are we happy for that to happen?
Yeah.
I think Brungrik would follow from a distance.
Okay.
So we'd allow the passage and then follow them into the.
Sure.
Not all the way in, but.
Right. Given how you guys are reacting so far, there's a lot of skepticism. So if you want to move your tokens, if you want to move yourself into position as you're talking to this woman, this woman, she will identify herself as Bianca, and she'll introduce. Now I've struggled with the pronunciation of this one because the CIA is Chia. Wensentia? Or is it Sia? Let's go with Wensentia because it's easier to pronounce. So her name's Bianca. This is Wensentia. The young boy is Kellen. This is the pack. These are the wolves. And Bianca will say, the other children are over there, and she points to where you know they are. And she will say, I need to shout to Zulika, because she will be defending the children. Do you mind if I call out for Zulika?
Yeah.
And she calls out, Zulika, it's okay. We're talking. The children aren't in danger. Show yourselves. So as you guys are positioned around here, you see this woman with the rags appear here. This is the woman that threw the spear at Bat Damon, but she doesn't appear aggressive, and she appears sort of, hands hold in a sort of a peaceful stance, whatever. And there's nothing aggressive happening at all. And Bianca continues to talk, and she will say, please, if you could just leave us with the boy. And she motions towards Kellen, and she says, you take the other children, take them, be free with them. But please leave us in peace.
Why do you have the other children?
Okay. Let's have a persuasion check from Brungrik.
Oh shit! I'll take that.
She says, Kirill, our leader, he. And there's definitely sort of a weight falls from her shoulders as she looks towards Brungrik now, and she says, the devil has instructed Kirill to reinforce our ranks. He allows us to journey beyond the mist to bring children in. The children that you see in the cages are from different lands, many varied lands. We have no choice. This is Barovia. Kirill is our alpha. Strahd is his alpha. We have no choice. But we just need to exist. We just need to belong. We don't mean you any harm. Leave us, leave Kellen and the rest of us, and take the children and be free.
And what if we can aid you in becoming free of your alpha? What about if we can aid you in being free of Kellen?
At this, you've piqued her curiosity, and she looks specifically over towards Zulika, over this side. And Zulika starts a dialogue with you now, especially with Damian after you've mentioned that. And she looks appraisingly over Damian and Brungrik, Valkyn that she can see. She will, and again, she's not making any aggressive moves, but she will move into a position where she can. I'm just going to move Ez up a little bit. If you want to move your minions, go for your life. Zulika is moving into a position now where she's looking you all up and appraising you, and she will, in response to Damian, she will say, "You think you can achieve that?"
Well, I think we could potentially achieve it in two ways. For us, Kellen is as good as dead. We made an oath and we swear it that we're going to kill him. The other option we potentially have, and he's going to look back to the rest of the party, is we alleviate you all of your curse, or make way to try and alleviate you of your curse. Because do we still have the remove curse? Some of the remove curse stuff.
Yeah, I'll
Mhm.
check
I
the
wasn't sure it was in a spell book, wasn't it?
I have removed curse as a spell.
Okay. So let's see how convincing Damian is then, shall we?
Would he get advantage if I clicked my fingers and ended the fear on the sister?
I'm going to say yes to that, Miller. Good idea.
So with that, I just click my fingers, make a big song and dance that I've.
I've accidentally killed you. There you go. You're back.
Did you say that then means mine's with advantage?
Sure.
It's a 19.
Okay. Right, bear with me. Mr. Jake, you're next to me on Discord. Just roll a d20 for me, please, do.
Oh, it always bloody does this.
So, and forgive
Somebody
me.
else just roll it, just because I'm
Yeah,
on my
Johnson. You.
phone.
Oh, wait a minute. Johnson's as bad, isn't he? Lewis, can you roll a d20, please? Sorry, Jake. Forgive me for it. Your mic dropped out ever so slightly. You said to Zulika you'd vowed to kill who?
think you got the
Is
name
it not the little but the not Kellen? Sorry,
The
like
leader.
the Alpha Wolf. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
pack leader.
I rolled a 7, Dave.
Thanks, dude. So Zulika turns towards the other women of the pack and the other wolves, and she turns back towards Damian and she says, "Now you have to understand something, that if Kirill tells us to do something, he's our alpha. We have to do it. If Strahd tells us to do something, he's our alpha. We have to do it. But if what you're saying is true, and we can all be free, then we're with you."
But and this is where Damien's going to look back to the rest of the group and he's going to be kind of pleading with them and selling the side of the story. Is the fact that if we just kill Kirill, Strahd is going to replace him with one of these ladies. He's going to use somebody else to be the alpha. So he's going to keep using the werewolves to access children and harm people in Barovia. Whereas if we alleviate them of their curse, one, we break their pledge to their alpha, Kirill, but also break their allegiance to Strahd.
Valkyn's going to ask the question. He's going to step up, ask the question, like, say, "Tell me, is this alpha? Does he act out of fear or loyalty to the demon? We seek to slay the demon."
She'll say, it neither. Kirill is evil. Kirill enjoys working for the devil. He enjoys his world. My mate Emil used to be the leader until recently, until perhaps a month, maybe two ago. Kirill confronted Emil, and there was a confrontation. After which, Emil and Kirill were summoned to the castle, to Castle Ravenloft. Kirill returned, Emil did not. And Kirill, since then, has been Alpha, and we have no choice but to follow what he says.
So where is he now, and when's he coming back?
Yeah, Brungrik is signed someone's death warrant.
She will say, in terms of Kirill is out on the hunt. He could be back anytime now, or anytime within a week or so. Emil, I've no idea. He was last seen at Castle Ravenloft. He was our leader for quite some time. He was the pack leader, our Alpha, and we lived in Barovia. We existed here. It was only when Kirill took over that we started invading other lands and bringing children into Barovia.
So for Brungrik, he'd probably be he'd probably be quite happy to remove the curse as much as he can off those present, but he will be staying, and he will be taking on what's his name?
Is it a
The
curse,
Alpha.
or is it just the pack mentality?
The lycanthropy is the curse, isn't it?
Yeah, lycanthropy is a curse. You're at soon become a werewolf.
So by removing that, surely we're removing the pack mentality.
Yeah, no, well,
It'll either work or it won't. If it doesn't work, we just wait here and kill the elf.
Okay, so are you guys having sort of a bit of a huddle while you're discussing this, or are you openly discussing what?
What I've just said, Brungrik would state quite openly that he's more than willing to try and remove the lycanthropy curse if that's what they wish, but he is staying and he is going to be killing the Alpha.
Okay.
I think Barwolf will turn around and say priority is the children at the moment.
Sure. So again, everything seems to be turned towards Zulika now, and Zulika will say to you, the children next to the shrine of the shrine of Mother Night are not tainted. Feel free to take them with you. As for me, this is my nature. I have come to terms with it. I don't wish any other life. We live in the wild. We hunt in the wild. We don't do any harm to any of the villagers in Barovia. But this is my life. And you see a turn towards Bianca and Wesensia, and they sort of both nod in acquiescence to this statement. I'll tell you what then. Let's add a dice roll to it, because it was a. I like what you said, Sam. So let's have a persuasion check from Brungrik just to see. Okay, yeah, 14 will do it. So the three women will sort of get their heads together. So Zulika's sort of moved around a little bit. And you can see all of them turn towards, especially Bianca, who's Wesensia, who's looking after Kellen, and they say to him, "It's your choice." Wesensia will say, "It's your choice, my cub. It's up to you." And to which Kellen will sort of look around, very nervously, very shyly, and he will step forward and he'll say, "I want to go home." And you can see in his hand he's got a doll. That rather spookily looks a little bit like a dwarf cleric barbarian hybrid, except it's got sort of gaunt features and sort of zombie type features. But he will step forward and he'll say, "No, I wish to go home. I wish to be cured."
I think, yeah, Brungrik's sort of attitude would change immediately when talking to Kellen, and his voice would become a lot softer. He'd probably kneel down, even though he probably doesn't need to. Put his weapons aside. And it's like it's all right, lad. There won't be any pain. I can get you home. Like you've not seen this side of him at all. It's like polar opposite. You're used to the fighter, the aggression. This is very fatherly, very favourite uncle. He's very reassuring to him. Like we can sort this for you.
Okay, so he continues forwards, and he's looking for that little bit of reassurance from the other women, and they, in fairness to them, they say, "No, you go, be free." And he walks up to Brungrik, and he walks right next to you, and he tries to hold your hand.
Yeah, Brungrik will cave on that one.
Yep. Okay.
Hit him in the feels there, Dave.
Yeah, did I get you, dude? Me a little bit as well. It's parenthood. I've changed since I've become a dad, mate. It's bad, isn't it? Soft lad for the win. Yeah. So, and the women look pleased with this. The wolves are sort of sat around. Wesensia will now say to you. Zulika will now say to you, if you intend to confront Kirill and the rest of the pack, we need to leave. If he commands us to join in, we have to obey the Alpha.
Yeah, Brungrik will look at them and say, it's not going to be a pack issue. This is going to be an alpha issue. And what he's basically saying is he's going to try and take him on himself. He's going to challenge him.
Okay. So Zulika will say, as you stood there holding Kellen's hand, she will say, you're able to cure him of the lycanthropy.
I can try. Assuming remove curse works.
Okay. Are you intending to cast it?
Yeah.
Okay. What? How would that look then, as you're holding hands with Kellen?
I would imagine he would probably place his own Niloren emblem of Pelor in between their hands, squeeze them tight, and just pray. And as it sort of lights up, maybe it surges through him. That sort of light, it's almost like pushes almost a poison out of his body, if you like. So it sort of starts from his hand and sort of lights down his arm, trying to cure whatever. Well, attempt to cure the curse.
Sure. Okay. Remove curse works automatically. It's just one of those, mechanically one of those things. As it washes over Kellen, you can see, and you'd not noticed it before. There was sort of a sort of a steeliness behind his eyes, a little bit of tension in his shoulders, in his young shoulders, and it eases and passes, and he goes from a troubled 10-year-old little boy to a little 10-year-old boy holding his doll, who's very, very frightened, but now free from the curse of lycanthropy, stood next to you. This instantly placates the women as they all bow to you, and the wolves do likewise. It's clear to you all now that these three wolves, they're not normal wolves. They're actually werewolves in wolf form. And they look round expectantly. You've got them sort of caught in a corner. What do you guys want to do now?
Well, if they're going to end up, if they get commanded to attack, they're going to have to go, aren't they? So can't we try and guilt them into returning the children, protecting the children by taking them back, and we'll wait here for the Alpha, and we'll take the Alpha on.
Where's nearby? Is Kruz quite nearby?
Krez would be the nearest settlement, but what we know about Krez so far is you're not getting in there unless you've done.
Wow. Unless Brungrik's name gets thrown around, because the Burgomaster owes Brungrik a favour or two after I got the beer running again.
Okay. So Krez is closest. You've
So
got.
if you remember, yeah, because if you remember the discussion with the Burgomaster was we weren't allowed in, but if we got the beer flowing again or wine, he would then be he would let us in to deal with his problem there.
Yeah, that's right.
So that would be one of the suggestions Brungrik would say. If you take the children to Krez, ask for the Burgomaster, say my name, as I ask him to provide sanctuary for these children until we arrive.
You know what? I'm gonna take this from you a little bit. Are you gonna let them go then? So you go to the cave entrance
If that's
with the
the
women.
plan, unless we're going to escort them out.
Didn't you say that we don't know when the alpha is actually coming back? It could be a day, it could be a week.
Correct.
Right.
Knowing Dave, as soon as they step out in the entrance of the cave, he's going to come back.
I don't know. I do know how you do. Yeah, that's pretty much how my brain works. What I was going to say, because I don't want to push it too far unless we needed to. You've made all the arrangements. The children are free from the cages. Kellen's walking with you. The three women and the wolf werewolves get to the cave entrance. As you appear into, and again, we've only perhaps had another hour, Mr. Miller, if you want to take it to 10 o'clock. There's two ravens outside the entrance to this werewolf cave. And they're joined by a third raven. And as this third raven swoops down from the top of the cave and lands in front of you, it turns from a raven into a man. It's clearly a were-raven turns into a man in front of you. You've never seen this fella before. Let's have a. I'm going to have a group insight check.
I was going to say I have a feeling I know who the other two are. Ugh.
Oh dear. I need a play.
Diabolical.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's all right. That's all
I think I'm looking the other way.
Try and drag the average up a bit.
Okay. Okay, I've got this. So what's going to happen is this fellow sort of turns. He's a good distance away. You can see that he's looking flighty. He looks like he's going to bolt at the slightest instigation of trouble. But he will say to you, he'll say, "Greetings. You don't know me, but I am here as a friend." And he'll look up towards the two other ravens, and he will say, "Boys, do you wish to join our friend?" And these two ravens, they're smaller than the rest. They're clearly juvenile ravens. They start to sort of circle round as if they're approaching Brungrik. Is Brungrik going to do anything?
He'll probably say, I may not know you, friend, but I have a sneaking suspicion I know these pair. And he sort of looks up at them and gives them a bit of a wink.
Right. They both land on each shoulder and nuzzle against you. And this fellow will say, "Yeah, no, they've come clean. We know what's happening, and we've kept an eye on you. We're here to help. We're here to take the children to safety. These, however," and he points towards the werewolves and the women, "they have to go. But we will look after the children."
I mean, Brungrik would be quite happy with that because, like I say, he's aware of who these two are. He saved them once or twice, kept them out of trouble, so he's quite happy with the pair on his shoulders. So he naturally would assume that the chap that's talking to him is quite genuine.
Okay,
In fact, can I do is it an insight check
sure. On this
to
chap.
get a read on him?
Yeah,
To get a
absolutely,
read
mate,
on
yeah.
it. Boom. That's
Yep.
more like it.
Yeah. Not only that, you spot certain familial features.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be too specific at this point. I'll remind me later, Sam, if I see you at work, we'll discuss it briefly. But this guy's the real deal, and everything sort of starts to click and make sense to Brungrik of what's going off here. These are the good guys. Not only are the good guys, they're the good guys that are very, very handy to have on your side, which they now appear to be. What are you going to do? What's Brungrik going to do and relate to the rest of the party at this point?
Yeah, because I guess nobody else was there, was it? Were they? Because it was Theron, wasn't it?
Yep.
So he will turn to the group and say the gifts that have been left for us when we've been at the inn. They all pertain to a couple of incidences along the road. We've probably briefly discussed it over a campfire or something. I'm pretty happy that the children will be safe with these guys while we deal with the imminent threat.
Okay, Esmeralda seems convinced. She's quite happy.
The Barwolf nod because a raven's always good in his books.
Valkyn's going to nod. He's finally going to sheathe his sword because he's had it gripped in his hand all this time.
Has he got calluses?
Yeah, always, mate. Yeah, we've got a dagger at the ready. Yeah.
So this fella, the two ravens will take off and start to circle around as this fella. You hear him say something to the children. He says something to Kellen. Kellen's older than the others, and with Brungrik and the rest of yours reassurance and say, go with these fellas. You see them head back towards Lake Balatok, walking down from the snow back into the Svalich Woods, and what appears to be a way into safety. You're left with the 6 werewolves. Everything outside is relatively peaceful. Again, it's sort of 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 half 10 now. You've got a good vantage point from where you are. There doesn't seem to be anyone approaching. What did you want to tell the women and the other werewolves to do? What's the plan now? What are we going to do?
I think Barwolf will want to know every entrance and exit to this cave that they know of.
Sure. Let's give you the full map then, in terms of the cave. So right. So what I'm going to give you is this is the full map then. So at the back here, where you haven't specifically been yet, Zulika will point out to you that this is Kirill's cave. At the back of the cave, there's a curtain that is made of human skin, rather charmingly. Behind that, let me just get rid of vision block. I'm going to nick someone's token. Thanks, Jake. Tidy. So behind this, there's a 10 foot by 10 foot stairs that lead round and end. If you keep going, Jake. Here. That's it, dude. You got it. It's a secret door. It's a secret door that even without investigation you can clearly spot. That secret door.
God, I could use my stone cut in.
Right, let's backpedal. You can't see a secret door, Sam. So this is it's going up and up and up and up. And I mean, it's like over a month ago now. If you remember, when you scouted the top of the mouth, you spotted a ring of stones on the outside, on the top.
Yeah.
That's where the secret cave leads you to. So, I'm
Told
just
you
gonna-
there was a bloody entrance up there. None of you fuckers would believe me.
Oh, you
See,
know what? I
gaming.
think, there you go. I think that's with. Let's just view it as show as player. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing now. In fact, I might as well just properly open up all of it. Right, there you go. So as the stairs, crikey, that's made my computer think, that has. As the stairway leads round, it comes out here, again to a secret entrance and this ring of stones. As Zulika's leading you round, she will tell you that the ring of stones on top, it's a circle of combat. Kirill has been using the circle to force the children to fight and kill each other. Kellen survived and killed one of the other children, and as a reward, he was turned into a werewolf. The other children were ready to compete, and they were going to be forced to kill or die, and their reward being lycanthropy. What a pleasant tale that is.
No reward.
Yeah. So that's the cave. What's the plan?
The only other thing Damian would have for the werewolves, it'd be like, how does the alpha system work? How does an alpha become elected?
Combat.
And I take it has to be one of your kind that you select as your new alpha.
Okay. In response to that, Kirill will say, not necessarily, no.
I mean, just from having seen what Barwolf's been doing and some of his transformations, he'd kind of look at Barwolf. And kind of suggest that, you have the wolf inside you as well, don't you?
Only on Sundays when he buys me dinner.
Did well there, Lewis.
Yeah, I suppose playing character and it. Yeah, I can. I'll quite happily take this mother clucker on, but he'll probably look at Brungrik and go. But I also know somebody else wants at this chap.
So she'll say in terms of the contest itself, and if it's a leadership contest, it's wolf v wolf. No one else can get involved. Kirill, he doesn't always play by the rules, but that he will have to honour. But you'll have to get him into a position where it will be one-on-one.
That's if we're challenging him for the alpha position, not if we just want to kill him outright.
Correct.
Won't be such a bad thing there, being the alpha.
And if he was killed outright, how would you select your next alpha?
Whoever killed him. Assuming it was single combat. If not, who would be the strongest?
So we all fight to the death.
That'd be an interesting session, that would. Ooh,
Yeah.
who would I put my money on?
I think Barwolf will look at Brungrik and go, you know your way around stone and masonry. How easy would this little staircase leading up to the circle of stones be to bring down? How could we bring it down without affecting the stability of the cave below?
I'm not sure I follow where you're going with this, Lou.
So you know about stones and masonry, don't you? It's quite clearly a staircase that's been built into the mountain.
Yeah.
You'd know surely how to bring something like it to collapse it basically without affecting the stability of the cave, but collapsing the staircase so nobody can get to us.
Isn't it just like a tunnel though or a cave passage that goes up and the steps are just carved into the floor?
You'd cave the roof in though, wouldn't you?
Well, being a master of stone, you'd know a bit more about a mountain than I would.
Yeah, I'm just sort of. I am trying to understand your strategy. Are you trying to close off so they can't come in that way and they have to meet us at the entrance?
Either we trap him at the top and fight him 1-on-1, or we get, because the 3 women only have to do as he says, doesn't mean that they can't misdirect the others up to the top when we collapse the cave and we all jump him in the cave.
Okay.
And we do 1-on-1, because he's going to play underhand, isn't he? If not. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I mean, what does my stone cut in this deck? Let me just remember.
While everybody else is discussing what to do, because I'm quite happy to just stabby, kill. I go and investigate the statue, see if there's any significance about it.
Sure. So specifically, you're thinking about the incredible amount of treasure at the base of the statue.
Don't know about me. Just want to see if there's any significance about said statue.
Yeah, there's several thousands worth of significance at the base of the statue. So as you're sort of poking around, you quite specifically get the impression that there's 4,500 copper pieces, 900 silver pieces. I will go over this again at some point. There's 250 gold pieces. Specifically, the gold pieces. In fact, all of the coinage. Some of it's weird. Some of it you would notice. Some of it is drow. Some of it is from Faerun. Some of it are from lands that you've never seen or heard of before. There are 30 gemstones, 50 gold pieces each. There's 700 gold piece gemstones. There's 12 pieces of jewellery, quite plain, 25 gold each. Something that sticks out is a gold cloak pin inlaid with shards of jet, worth about 250 gold. There's an ivory drinking horn, engraved with dancing dryads and a satyr pipe players, worth 250 gold. And the most expensive looking piece is an ornate electrum censer. So a sort of a large dish with a platinum filigree, and that's worth about 750 gold.
It'd be worth detecting magic on some of those.
Just before I bag all this shit, one, am I out of line of sight of everybody?
You do know we all know about it, right?
You're not out of sight because Bat Damon's watching you.
Bat Damon told us all that there was gold and shit there, so we're well aware there's a big treasure trove.
And we know you've sloped off.
I mean, in fairness, roll a stealth check, Johnson. Just because if you're trying to do this stealthily, then obviously it's going to be more. And you can have your advantage.
That'll be a 28.
Right, and has anyone got a passive perception of 28?
I think I've got the best 18. I think.
So Damon got it.
Depending on what Johnson now does, potentially none of you know anything. What's
I can't say. Oh, there's Bat Damon. Yeah, Bat Damon can see what he's up to, so I can keep my little beady eye on him.
You can't, mate. He's sloped off. He's done a Valkyn.
Yes, but surely
you can
we
roll
all know.
perception for
Surely
Bat
we all know
Damon.
what he's like. We know where the treasure is. Bat Damon's over there. I'm gonna keep my eye on him.
Well, if you do that with Bat Damon, you're not going to be able to concentrate on what's going on with the plan and everything else. You're going to have to zone out.
Well, this is true. I'm only joking.
I know. Well, no, because you make a good point. So the question is, what is Valkyn going to do?
Oh, I'd like to do a bit of a investigation check, perception check, just to see if it's like a bit of an Indiana Jones type scenario where if I swipe this stuff, it's going to start crumbling down.
Sure.
A big boulder ball's going to come out the wall or something.
Gotcha. So that's going to be investigation, as you say. Yeah.
Yeah, man. 16.
Nothing seems tracked. In fact, if anything, it's sort of laid out in front of this this figure, this Night Mother figure. Like I say, it's a humanoid figure with a wolf head, very rough carved, but it's all laid out quite
Do a
casually.
history check just to see if there's anything significant about this statue.
Absolutely.
Even though my priority is the loot, I'd like to know a little bit about what the statue is.
Okay, always do that.
Oh fuck me!
The religion in it.
Oh, fuck all. Is it religion?
No, history. Well, I either would have done, but you've rolled a natural one now, so. Yeah, nothing from your background suggests a knowledge of who this figure is or what it is. It was referred to as the Shrine of the Night Mother, but that's all you know. So,
Okay.
is that your jiggery pokery? What's your intentions with the loot?
Well, seeing as we're sending the lichens off wherever, we're taking the kids to safety. We're going to kill the alpha. They don't need it, are they? So in my pocket it goes. If you can fit it in my pocket.
Are you taking the lot?
Did you hear all that, Liz?
What?
You're going to be jingling and jangling like fucking Santa Claus.
You can only carry. You can only carry so much on your person, though, can't you? You're restricted to how much you can actually carry with your backpacks and that.
Oh, hold up, because Valkyn would have an eye for this thing. I mean, the sensor itself is quite large. It's a big dish. It's a big bowl. But that's the bit that's worth the most. The gemstones. There's 7 100 gold gemstones. Them you can pocket quite easily. 30 50 gold piece gemstones. Similarly, you could pocket them easily.
Okay. Yeah. So the copper coins are going to be the because there's fucking shitload of them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll take the the most expensive. What's it called?
The most expensive thing is an electrum sensor with platinum filigree. So it's a big dish.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Worth 750 gold. So make a note of that.
150, yeah.
750.
I will take the gemstones.
Okay, so 30 times 500 gold pieces.
30 times
not
500.
30 times 50 gold pieces.
All right, okay. I say I'm fucking rich.
Yep.
I mean, this guy would steal Strahd's balls if they were in a bag, wouldn't they? Is that a sneak?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You got that?
Yeah.
7 100 gold pieces. So 7 times 100 gold piece gemstones.
100. Yeah.
There's a
cloak
pin. These are all pocketable items. A cloak pin inlaid with shards of jet worth 250.
Yeah.
This is half the session. Me reading Johnson his loot.
Yeah.
And again, there's lots of coin. There's still a drinking horn worth 250. There's 12 pieces of plain jewelry worth 25 gold each.
250 gold pieces.
Drinking horn, 250 gold.
Yeah,
Dave,
having that.
he's physically not going to be able to carry all of this.
Well, so far, I mean, the gems are like
Wait.
he is, mate. He's going to be able to carry all of this. It's just the gold and the copper and all the rest of it that he'll struggle with.
If only they stole the bag of hope.
I'll be generous and I'll leave the gold pieces and the copper pieces. How many gold pieces are the total?
250 gold.
That weigh me down too much?
That won't. The 4,500 copper pieces will.
Right, I'll take the 250 gold pieces then.
I'll
leave the copper.
This still comes under the category of generous, right? Yeah.
Yes. So I'll leave the copper pieces because I am generous and it's nothing to do with the fact that I can't actually carry it all.
Right. And there's 900 pieces of silver that will probably weigh you down a little bit too much as well.
Yeah.
830.
All in charity. I might let the other guys know about it after they've gone and we've killed the alpha.
Okay.
Say, boys, there's some treasure over there.
Right.
Help yourselves.
What?
I've not touched anything myself.
So let me just have a look at the map myself. Because you have raided most of that shit. So my question to you guys is, you were in the middle of combat and everything was tense. So the only other person that would be aware of this is Reman via Damon, if I'm correct.
Well, we'd be aware that there's treasure, but not the scale of it, would we?
Right. So we need a
Because he
roll.
reported back to us.
I managed to say Damon without smiling, but I was smiling on the inside, just so you know. I'm still enjoying it. Still enjoying it. I want.
Is anyone else struggling to hear Dave?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're a bit dull, like
breaking up a bit.
Oh, okay. I don't know what to tell you about that. My internet's fine. Can you hear me now?
It's intermittent, mate.
Has that been the whole session or just?
No, just last 5 minutes.
Oh. I'll keep going. If you don't hear what I say, you'll just have to get me to repeat myself. So what I want to do, being as Johnson's just pretty much looted everything apart from
you're gonna have to repeat that.
It went mental then.
Did it? I'll disconnect and come back on. See if that helps. Hello? Hello? Is that the same?
It's intermittent. You get bits where it's fine, and you get bits where it's just all garbled, mate.
I don't know what to tell you.
I bet it will look fun on the recording. You'll watch the recording, like, what are the guys on about?
Well, I think it doesn't record through Discord, so I think Discord's the issue.
You're fine now.
Well, right, but now I don't know how to get what's it up. Right. Right, where were we then?
You're putting some form of question towards us about Andy.
Oh yeah. Well, all I was going to say is, we kind of need Damon to make a roll to see if you guys Oh, the recording's all screwed up now. Right, I tell you what, let's stop that. Right.